SpongeBob my ass.
I'm only 4. Bonjour, Monsieur Pussycat.
Cracking toast, Robert.
Start spreading the news.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the short podcast about short films. I'm your host, and we are discussing the Academy Award for Best Animated Short. Today's episode is about the 62nd year of the award at the 66th Academy Awards, which celebrates the films of 1993. Today's guest is a very good friend of mine. Please welcome Aaron. Hello, Aaron.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's an honor to have you. I always enjoy having my friends on this podcast. And, well, I guess every time I have this podcast, it's with a friend of mine. But yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. I've been badgering you for so long to get you on this podcast, but you've been telling me like, no, I don't want to. I'm scared. It's just like, but then I just forced you into
being scheduling conflicts from my if I remember correctly.
Yeah, your agent came to me and was just like, "Yo, you can't do it. I'm sorry," but
but then an opening came up.
But when I told you that Wallace and Gromit, you were just like, "Oh, well then that changes things."
Maybe that may be a certain chain of events that happens, but there are different witnesses saying different things. So
it's basically Ace Attorney.
Sure.
I don't know. I've been playing the games recently. It's on my mind a lot. But yes, thank you for coming on, spending some of your precious time to talk to me about random animated short films from the 90s. But tell us, what is your familiarity with the best animated short category?
I gotta say, not much. I typically have only seen them when they are put in front of other films in theaters, meaning mostly Disney and Pixar. I've wanted to. I mean, there's theaters near me that do the programs where they show the nominees and they show the best animated short film noms, all at once in theaters, in a little marathon, little feature presentation.
No, exactly.
I've wanted to go to those. I've always been interested in going to those for a few years now, but it never really works out with just work and life and stuff. But I've always been interested. I've just never really gotten a chance to watch most of them, really.
Well, that's understandable. However, I've been going to those screenings ever since 2015, so just get good. I'm kidding. But yeah, you have a similar experience to many of my guests on this podcast, especially the ones that my friends who aren't into the Oscars that I've had on. Just they just know the Pixar shorts and the Disney shorts, but for you also know Wallace and Gromit, which it isn't that much of a deep cut, but still, it's more than some people.
Deeper than deep.
You so deep. But yeah, and speaking of Wallace and Gromit, let's just get into these nominees. Let's get right into it. This year has 5 nominees. Our first nominee and the year's winner is The Wrong Trousers, directed by Nick Park. This is a second win and third nomination for Nick Park, as well as the second win and fourth nomination for Aardman Animation, last winning for Creature Comforts in 1990. This film was truly the next step for Aardman and is what really started making them and Wallace and Gromit a household name. Up to this point, Aardman really only made short 5-minute comedy films like Creature Comforts and their other lip sync films, with A Grand Day Out, the first Wallace and Gromit film, really only coming from Nick Park's unfinished thesis film from college. But there's a very lucrative 30-minute television film market, which many past nominees in this category come from, like Richard Williams' A Christmas Carol and The Snowman. Aardman hadn't had the resources or the recognition to earn that spot yet, but with everything that came from Creature Comforts and A Grand Day Out, winning so many awards and getting a lot of money, it was time, and thus comes The Wrong Trousers. Nick Park said that he really wanted this film to be more ambitious and more cinematic than any of his prior works, being much more inventive with the lighting and the action of the films, wanting something that you could find in a Hitchcock film. Even the set design of the film is meant to be immensely grounded, while the character design is as unreal as ever. And one thing to note is that while Wallace and Gromit are Nick Park's creations, the film truly is for all of Aardman. The idea has grown beyond Park's original thesis film and has become an icon. So, with all that, what is The Wrong Trousers about? Well, it's Gromit's birthday, and Wallace, his best friend in the world, hasn't forgotten. He got Gromit a leash he didn't want and some techno trousers that benefit Wallace a lot more than they do Gromit. And what's more, Wallace can't seem to pay off the bills and takes in a boarder to cover some of the costs. This boarder, a little penguin, immediately takes over Gromit's room and even tries to one up Gromit at every opportunity, especially in his relationship with Wallace. But this penguin has a little secret and is plotting something nefarious. Will Gromit be able to save the day, or will Wallace be forever stuck in the wrong trousers? Aaron, start us off. What did you think of the wrong trousers?
Perfection. Um, it's simply uh the best installment in the Wallace and Gromit canon, if I do say so myself. It's very good. It's very good. It's very fun. It's got a lot of things going on. All the pieces really come together. Well, not that they didn't in the previous one, but in a grande out, Wallace and Gromit, they look like they've seen better days. they, I don't know if crude's the right word, but in terms of their design and how their builds, it was like a student film essentially. So
Well, yeah, it wasn't quite yet defined. It's like
right
they're
here,
he's still working on it.
yeah, here they look like how we all know and love them now. So there's that, and then but it's just like this the scope. Well, is the scope bigger? They went to the moon in the first one. Can the scope get bigger than that?
Honestly, the scope is quite smaller when you put it like that, but
That's
at the
true.
same time, it feels a lot more adventurous this time. It's kind of funny because it's like the trip to the moon that feels like, oh, you're just taking a little Saturday drive over to the moon, but it's just like this one. It's just like there is a penguin. This has never gotten more serious.
Exactly, exactly. It's got the intrigue. It's got the thrills. Listen, Michael Mann's heat is shaking. Collateral quaking in its boots. Like they just, I don't know. I don't
Why
think.
Michael Mann?
Well, because if I said heat, I don't know. I just feel like that's maybe someone might not quite understand what I'm talking about. I said Michael
Gromit
Mann.
is in heat.
No, I was saying Michael Mann's heat, just so people know what I'm referring to.
No, but you just
Uh,
did two Michael Mann films. It's just like
oh yeah, Miami Vice shaking.
Last of the Mohicans is shaking.
No, what? All
The
these 90s thrillers were like, damn, it's
the
over. Pack it up.
Insider is shaky.
Mhm.
Ali is shaky.
No, I don't quite. No, I don't think. Not quite. But it's very good. I'm repeating myself, but it is very fun. It's got Feathers McGraw, a fantastic villain in Feathers McGraw. Um, of course, there's the train chase,
Mhm.
which is
One of the most iconic Wallace and Gromit scenes.
yeah, and I would say it's one of the most iconic scenes in animation. I would say.
Well,
It's
there's a lot of animation.
of course, but I think it stands out among the rest. It's very good. It's very memorable, at least for me. It's probably yeah. That scene in particular is one of my favorites in the whole franchise as well. But it's very good. It's very good.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like as I mentioned in the last time we talked about Wallace and Gromit, I did not grow up with this franchise, but I I've learned to love it as I discovered them through like the Oscars and stuff. Because like I mentioned last time, like I like to mention every time Wallace and Gromit comes up, every single film of theirs that was eligible is got an Oscar nomination, and that's just great. But but yeah, this is just a really great film. Uh, I want to say it is the best Wallace and Gromit movie. However, I'm waiting until I rewatch A Close Shave to really like say that and set it in stone and everything.
A
But
Close Shave is very good, but personally, it's still Wrong Trousers for me.
mhm. I I think it could overtake. But I also just don't remember too
The
much
original
about it.
three shorts are all very good. They're all like that trilogy, if you want to call it, even though it's not a trilogy. They're all very, very strong, very good films.
And no one gives a shit about A Matter of Loaf and Death.
That one's okay.
But yes, uh, this is a great film. Gromit is amazing in this. They
Love Rom.
really bring Gromit to its full potential. Like, he has such perfect like facial expressions, just the slightest eyebrow move, or, like what counts as an eyebrow for him. And it's just like it. And he's the main character of this. He's the one we follow throughout
Exactly.
most of this.
He,
It's just
he
like
also he also makes some noises, like some dog noises, which I mean I'm probably forgetting, but it's one of the few, if only times you actually hear him make, you know, noises from his mouth, even though his mouth doesn't move, he still, like he
makes
gets the
slight
animal in his
noises.
collar and he's like, "Whoop." And yeah, he does it a few times, which I
Yeah,
kind of
he
forgot.
just
But
straight up says what the fuck to Wallace when he gives him the
yeah,
collar.
that part was crazy. I'm surprised the BBC that went past the BBC censors.
Mhm.
But um
Yeah, but anyway, um, and as you were saying, Feathers McGraw, the Penguin, great villain, just the absolute mastermind. I just love to hate him, you know. Oh, and the wrong trousers themselves, or the I guess it's not the wrong trousers, but the techno trousers. Uh, they're a fun invention. Uh, my one complaint about this film, though, is that I fucking hate Wallace so much in this. He is such a piece of shit in
not
this.
too much on Wallace.
Like, and it's like with the Grand Day Out, it's just like they're both just so lovable. It's just like, but here, Wallace is just such a fucking idiot. He's just like,
But
what
that's why
is
I love him.
what is wrong with him?
Himbo King.
I oh my God. Imagine him like just like drawn as a himbo, like with the body type and everything. But the same head though.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, he and just like he he also just kind of like blames Gromit for everything when he doesn't realize that the penguin's the one who's doing it to him. And it's just like when when he's first put into the techno trousers and they've like been rearranged and whatever, he's blaming Gromit for all of this. And it's just like, Gromit, what are you doing to me? Stop this. Get me out of here. Gromit, why it's all your fucking fault, Gromit. And then it's just like when he's at the later when he's like stealing the gem from the museum or whatever, and he sees the fucking penguin, he's Feathers McGraw. He's just like what? Who are you? It's just like my tenant will hear about this. It's just like what are you talking? The second he needs help or like he's trying to spout good about someone, he chooses the fucking penguin he just met, which is the reason like Gromit tried to leave him in the short. It's just like, what is wrong with you, Wallace? The, Gromit has been your friend for God knows how long, and it's just like, but the second a fucking penguin shows up, it's like you forget all fucking about him. It's just like it just made it a bit less fun, just how much I didn't enjoy Wallace in this. It's just like, and of course he has some fun moments. Like we have like there's the line in that I have in the intro of every single episode of this podcast. I was just like cracking toast grommet. And it's just like yeah, there's some cute lines like that. But at the same time, it's just like in the plot of this film, they just made him so stupid and so mean to Gromit that it becomes hard to like it at times. But at the same time, this is still a really great film. It has a lot of greats. And the like you were saying, the train chase, what a fantastic scene. One of the greatest action scenes in stop motion animation, and maybe just an animation, maybe even ever. Who knows? It's you could say a lot of great things about this, but
I agree.
yeah,
Um, uh, speaking of techno trousers, um, I think Ethan Hunt. If Ethan Hunt had the techno trousers on the Burj Khalifa, then they would have succeeded in their mission, impossible mission.
Did they not succeed in the Impossible mission?
Well, I mean, he nearly died, so he nearly fell off the side of the Burj Khalifa.
But
They
he
had
still
to,
succeeded.
right. Well, yeah, took a while. I just think if they had the techno trousers, then he would have avoided death even greater than he did. So,
It's true.
um, by the way, before we move on, I just wanted to mention that, or a couple things. It's the 30th anniversary this year of the Wrong Trousers.
Yeah.
It's coming up in
1993. This is 2023. Yeah.
Yep.
30 years.
Coming up in December, just in a few months.
Boxing Day. Or, well, in America, it was released a bit earlier, but in the UK, it was released on Boxing Day.
Ooh, you're right.
Yeah, I just read that. I was just like, oh, weird.
Oh,
Weird that
okay.
they
I was
released
about
it in
to say
America first.
you really did your research.
Yes, I
Also,
did. Did you not hear that paragraph I said?
no, I'm joking. Also, something I noticed was that Gromit's reading The Republic by Plato, but it says Pluto for for some reason.
Because Pluto is a
Pluto the
dog.
dog, and Gromit's a dog, so therefore
He only reads dog theory.
the dog version is by Pluto instead of Plato. That makes
Mhm.
sense. One last thing. I was gonna try to mix these in a little more naturally, but I guess it didn't work as well. One last thing was just because it's related. On April Fool's Day this year, Aardman was like, "Hey guys, we got these new beanies that look like Feather McGraw's glove hat coming soon." And they're like, and then they were like, "Guys, it was April Fool's Day joke," and everybody was mad because they actually looked really cool, and everybody
Yeah.
wanted some. I wanted one,
That'd be
but
nice to have.
but they were like, "Guys, it's just a joke," and it's like, okay, we'll make it not a joke. Release them. Release them for the 30th anniversary.
Do you think they are actually releasing them or no?
I don't know, but I think they should. I think they should.
I wonder how much like that would cost to make, because there's a lot of like structural stuff you would need in order to like make that
I mean,
stand
it
up.
looked really nice in the photo they posted.
I mean, the photo might have been faked. It was just like might have been photoshopped, but like I'm thinking
Well, maybe you might be fake.
maybe I'm an AI and it's just like this podcast is just unreal.
Into artificial. I should have known. I
But
should
the
have.
thing is, it's just like, why would somebody use AI to make this podcast? Who who would care enough to make this? Who
I'm
would
sure
want me to be their AI persona?
me, my AI Sona. You're my AI Sona.
Thank you. It means a lot to hear you say. Like I'm the metaverse AV avatar, whatever.
Exactly.
An NFT that's just me.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Bored ape? Bored ape?
I'm a bored ape. Yeah. Me for real. God, fuck AI. Fuck NFTs. But yeah. Anything else you'd like to say about the wrong trousers?
No, I'm done with my little bullet points. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And Wallace, this is for you out there if you're listening, which I know you are.
No.
Get fucking better. Be nice to fucking Gromit. I hope close shave you aren't as mean. Like I've seen it before, but I don't exactly remember if you're mean to Gromit in that. I don't even really remember the plot. But I'll find out soon because it's only like 2 years from now. So anyway, our second nominee is Blindscape, directed by Stephen Palmer. This is the first and only nomination in this category for Palmer. And folks, I've got nothing. I have no idea who Stephen Palmer is outside of this film. The only thing I have to go off is that he has an IMDb page with some other animator credits, but that's it. The Wikidata page for him, not a full Wikipedia page, just some Wikidata, is that it knows he is a British animator, and that's it. Nothing more specific, no birth date. He is just a British animator with an Oscar nomination. And well, Stephen, wherever you are, hope you're having a good day. I wish I knew more about you, but maybe this is by design. Maybe you just didn't want people to know about you. But let's just get back to the film. What the hell is Blindscape?
I'm
What are
sorry.
you saying? Go ahead.
Do we reckon he's related to Leland Palmer?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't think he's from Twin Peaks.
Well,
But anyway,
it could be a Chris Nolan, Jonathan Nolan situation where like one's American and one's British.
What are you talking about?
Chris Nolan's brother has an American accent.
I I didn't know that. And there's a
Yeah,
third brother who's like in
he's
jail
like a
or whatever.
criminal.
He's like a
Yeah.
murderer.
He's like a hitman or something.
Oh yeah, Hitman. That's right.
Um, yeah, no, I'm not kidding. One, obviously, Chris Nolan is British, but his brother, I'm pretty sure it's Jonathan. He has an American accent, and it's because of how they were raised. I guess one, yeah, Chris Nolan went to school in England, and then Jonathan went to America with one of his parents or
Mhm. But yeah, I don't think Stephen Palmer is related to Leland Palmer from Twin Peaks. But anyway, but
something.
maybe he is in the Black Lodge. Who knows? That's why I don't know anything about him.
Maybe he's there right now.
Maybe. But what is Blindscape? It starts out with a man waking up in the woods. He's unable to see. I think he just doesn't have eyes, but he has no idea where he is or how to get out of there. He wanders around desperate, and it starts to imagine what horrors might be out there with him. And I really love this film. I thought this was and just an unexpected surprise, especially since I didn't remember watching this before. I had no memory of this film, but it is first of all, it's gorgeous. I love the animation and like the way it uses color, where it's just like everything that the main character is able to hear or feel. It's like that just lights up with color. It's like he knows that's there, and it's just like it's a beautiful effect, especially with the background, where it's just like he is able to he doesn't like hear the trees, but he hears like the outlines of the trees, where it's just so it's like the background is colored except for like trees that are blocking it, or just like into the white void that he's in. And it's a really stunning effect. And it's just like, and I love like the care like the way like he sees these like monstrous, well, quote unquote sees these monstrous creatures, but then it like turns into like a flock of birds or something like that. And it's just like it's just what I love in animation. It's like I love interesting uses of colors. I love the way things can morph into other things. I just love this. I love using animation to portray something that you can't really do in live action, like the experience of being blind. Right. And it's like, and especially like the first moment of the film where it's like he's feeling himself to like figure out like who he is, what he looks like. And it's just like you see his outline form as he like touches his face, touches his hair and everything. It's like, it's so good. It's just so good. Aaron, what did you think? Did you think this is also so good?
I thought it was quite good. Yeah, I'll be honest. I had to watch it again because when I first watched it, I don't know if I was tired or something, but when I first watched it, I was like, I don't know. I got what it was doing, and like I didn't dislike it, but I was like, hmm. But then I rewatched it, and I was like, Danny DeVito in that one clip where he's like, I get it now.
Oh, from
Um,
Always Sunny, yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, um, yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I liked it quite a bit. To quote my little letterboxed review, and this is actually a fact. Um, I wrote this is just like all the dreams I have, where I'm blind and have to confront the horrors, because that is kind of what happens to the character in the film. And that is what happens to me a lot. Like I won't get into it really, but I do have dreams a lot where I don't know why, I don't know what it means, but I can't see. And of course, in dreams, these weird things happen. But but the main part is me not being able to see. That does happen a lot, and then just weird stuff happens after that.
Mhm. Oh, is
Um,
that like your sleep paralysis or something like that?
no, no, no. Sleep paralysis is different. This is just
Okay.
a dream I have where I don't know why, but I can't see.
Uh, that's honestly interesting because it's like I when I dream, it's like it's usually like mainly a visual element. And it's like one of the problems I have with it is like it's hard to like touch things or if
Right.
smell things or anything. So it's like it's weird to imagine like some like you having like not having that visual element, but
Yeah.
still
No, I mean, so
experiencing a
like
space.
it's strange because I'm not. There are other dreams where I'm fine and I can see, but then so it's not like every single dream that I have. But in the dreams where I am like blind, I guess I would. It's not 100%, but it is almost. It is. I'm mostly blind. It's odd, and it's not every dream, but yeah.
Hmm. But yeah, Blindscape.
It's good. It's
Bringing us back.
yes. So it's very. I feel like it's very up to interpretation. I mean, I guess not necessarily the beginning or the first the major chunk of it, because it's kind of like, maybe there's animals or just things, just nature, just a leaf falling, and he's like, oh no, it's a monster, but it's really just like a leaf or something. But
Mhm.
then towards the end, he's on like a branch. There's a policeman, and I'm like, wait a minute, how did he get up there? What's going on?
Mhm. Yeah,
I just feel like it's very interpretive in that sense. Like
yeah.
it's up
The
for interpretation.
the ending where it's just like it's hard to tell like where exactly he's supposed to exactly be. Like I can't tell if he's like
It
up in a tree or something, or if he's
Yeah,
just like
it
wandered
looks like he's
onto
up in a tree because he's on like, well, maybe it's a log, but it appears to be
yeah.
a branch because then he falls and he clings onto another branch. So
I was thinking he like also like it's like that classic thing that you see. There's like a log that's breached a gap, like and there's like a long like drop below it, and I feel like he's like walked across that and just laid down on the branch, and then it's just like there's other people who found him and like are on the side. It's just like, and they don't want to go out there because like what if they fall off? But it's just like they just need to guide the other guy back.
right.
Yeah, and I just love the ending where it's like the last shot where it's just like he thinks he's about to fall off, but then the hand grabs him, and it's like a freeze
Yeah.
frame on that. And it's like lit up. Both his hand and the guy's hand are both lit up with color. It's beautiful, and it's just like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's nice. It appears that this might be an early usage of computers in animation, because to me it seems like there's these like 360s they do and these camera moves that they do where it's like, yeah, maybe they drew this by hand, but it probably would have been pretty difficult. So it's just, and then there's this other effect that they do, not necessarily like a camera move, but there's this other effect that they use where it's like, I think this is like early computer work with animation, which
I
is cool. Um,
I
but
don't think it is computers, like, but it could be. I couldn't be totally sure. But also, you're a bit late to call this an early usage of computers.
no,
Like,
well, okay, no, okay, well, early in the sense of, Toy Story was still a few years away, so
yeah, like
obviously
2 years,
computers were
but
being
like,
used in shorts already, you know, but with Caps and
like
Andre Molody. And
early usage of computers in short films is like early 70s. It's just like because that we had our first nominee using computer effects in 1975, I believe it was.
all right,
Uh, But
I
yeah, it's just like, and then we had Pixar all throughout the last decade. It's just
right.
like we are in
Still considerably early, like
it,
early in the sense that it's not like the main component,
it's gonna
right?
be
Like,
soon.
right, okay, but it's still not. It's not like, oh, this entire thing was done with computers. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I didn't, yeah, and I didn't mean, oh, this whole thing was done with computers. I just meant it uses it as a tool for certain things.
Yeah,
That's
but also I just don't think it is. I think this seems like entirely hand drawn to me, in my opinion.
There is an interesting there's something I um towards the beginning, before the creatures show up, or maybe they do. Like there's the bee, but then I guess I was tired because at first, when I first watched it, I was like, whoa. There's like one of the first things he quote unquote sees is like there's like a demon, there's like a devil or something like in the background in the corner, and I was like, whoa, was that like a demon? And then when I
Mhm.
watched the second time, it was, and I was like, whoa, it's kind of spooky. Like it didn't actually freak me out or anything. But I
Yeah,
was like, oh, that's I mean, because
yeah,
I don't know, I just thought that was
yeah.
interesting.
That's like he's imagining these terrifying creatures. It's like it's just,
It was different from all the beastly creatures that come after.
yeah,
So like,
but
ooh,
yeah,
there's something sinister going on,
yeah. A lot of the creatures
and
are
it
just like
and it's only
vague.
there for like a split second. That's why it really caught my eye.
Yeah, it's just like he hears a noise and he thinks it's like a demon or whatever. It's like a lot of the creatures in this are just like vague beasts. Although then there's a bee and then there's a snake, or at least he thinks there's a snake. I don't think there was actually one, uh, but yeah, this is just really fucking good. I love this. I I wish I had remembered it from the first time I watched it, but it's so damn good. And I wish more people knew about this. Like on Letterboxd is the second least popular film, as in like least known about out. And it's just like this film needs
The
more people to watch
the
this.
Oscar nominated short films.
Oh yeah, of the nominees of everything, it's just like is the second least popular on Letterboxd.
Dang.
And it's just like we I need more people to watch this for real because it's like it's just so good. It's so unlike most things. And it's just like and also this would be a very good pairing with Sound of Sunshine, Sound of Rain, which is another nominee about a blind person. But also they just both use color so beautifully. It's a it's just amazing. I I love this category. It gives you just so many hidden gems. It's it's a lot of fun to watch through. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like I said on the second watch, I it clicked for me. So then I got it. Yeah, it's cool. It's very yeah.
All
I
right. Uh, anything else you'd like to say about Blindscape?
I think I'm good. Thank you.
You think you're good? All right.
I think,
You
but
think, or do you know? Is that your final answer?
yes, chef.
Okay. Our third nominee is The Mighty River, directed by Frederick Bach. This is his fourth and final Oscar nomination, and I hope you at home remembered what I've said in previous episodes about his film career and personal life, because I'm not going to be talking about that here. But one quick note, the co-nominated this year is Hubert Tyson, who is a Canadian film producer that ran the animation branch of Radio Canada, and is the whole reason that Frederick Bach's films were made. But what did Bach do after he made all his films? Well, normally I would consult his labyrinthian autobiography on his defunct website via the Wayback Machine, but unfortunately, I don't think he ever finished that section of his autobiography. However, there is a whole section on his website about his activism, so let's head over there. First, backstory. His activism has its roots both in his childhood adoration of animals and his disgust at the ways humans have invaded nature, destroying everything in their path. At the 1967 Expo, he sees the Canada Pavilion and tout not its beautiful nature, but new logging technology with which it'll destroy nature. It is at this point that Bach becomes an activist. He joins many organizations with which he fights against pollution, fights for animal rights, fights to protect nature and its beauty, but he also realizes the best way to get his message to the masses is through his art. And that is why he is the artist he is, why he is the filmmaker he is. His website is filled with so much passion and anger as he lists in detail the damage that pollution does to our world, the cost of climate change, and above all, the human ignorance and greed at the root of it all. In the four episodes where I discuss Frederick Beck, this is probably the episode that best gets at who the man truly was. He was a fighter. He was one of the few people on this world who actually gave a fuck. It's a bit of a disservice to remember him even just as an animator, but at the same time, him being an animator is why we're talking about him today. So let's talk about his final animation. For the Mighty River, his activism leads him to the St. Lawrence River, originally called Magtogoek by the Algonquin peoples, a large river that connects Lake Ontario to the Atlantic Ocean. It shows the history of the river, from it being a haven of abundant marine life to the colonizing of the Europeans, their massacre of the animals, driving trade of oil and fur, and destroying the wilderness for lumber, and desecrating the river itself with waste. The goal of the film was to show the world what man has killed with the St. Lawrence River and why we should fight to protect what's left. Back cites stories of sailors complaining about an abundance of whales and massive sea turtles in the river, but now the marine life has all but disappeared. The film consulted with marine biologists as well as historians to make sure the film was as accurate as possible so that his film could serve as a historical document, be shown in classrooms, and thus get his message even further. Because it's not just about the St. Lawrence River, but every river in the world. Aaron, what did you think of The Mighty River?
This one was good. It's sad because
It's definitely sad, yes.
um it really just it shows it's like a history, it's like a timeline of the St. Lawrence River and how it's the impact humanity had on it. and so it's actually mostly depressing if I'm being honest. But it's good because then at the end it urges it I feel like it urges us to like a call to action. Like there's we've we've done all this damage, but we could still save it or restore it. Which I think is a nice little place to end on. But yeah, it's good. Unfortunately, my the quality of the video that I watched the short was pretty low, so I couldn't tell. Or it appears to have like a painterly look to the animation style. I don't know if that's true because the quality was pretty low, but I liked that. Unless you've seen a better quality version of this film and can confirm.
Well, I do know it does have like a painterly look, but it's all like so I'll just say for those listening on here, we had a hard time finding this one with like with the English dubbing on it because it's like first of all, there just isn't that many uploads of it, and of the few uploads I could find, they were all with the French dialogue, and it's just like or not dialogue, narration, but I eventually did find one with the English narration, and so I had downloaded it and like I sent it over to you because I didn't really trust the website that was hosting the video, but I wonder if maybe just in sending it over, it did kind of diminish the quality a bit. Like the version I watched, like it was definitely like 360p, but it was still watchable. Though maybe after sending it through Discord, it might have like compressed it a bit and like ruined the quality. But I don't know. I
and
but the thing is, it's just like Frederick Bach's films are all so gorgeous. I highly recommend you check out some of his other work, especially The Man Who Planted Trees and Crack, his previous two wins. Uh, but yeah, it's his films are always just so gorgeous. And this one specifically, it it's almost funny how the film is just like the way it's set up is just like here's a beautiful thing and here's how people destroy it. Here's another beautiful thing and here's how people destroy it and it just keeps
keep
going like that.
going.
And it's just like wow, I love this. Damn, fuck
I
people.
love
Jesus.
I love the impact of man on the earth.
I love pollution. Yay. But yes, it's an absolutely gorgeous film, and it's the most overtly like political of Frederick Bach's films, which is saying a lot because all of his films are about like nature and preserving it and things like that. But this is the one that's the most overt and the one that's the most heavy-handed, which I have seen like turns off some people because it's not really telling a story. It's mainly just here's how everything got fucked up. Please help to stop fucking things up. And for what it's worth, the this was part of like a wider campaign for about the St. Lawrence River. Like it wasn't just Frederick Bach who wanted to fix this. I think it was since the 70s. It's like there was a campaign about this going on, and eventually it did work. Like the government did put in resources to try and get the St. Lawrence River back to like to clean it up first of all, and just try to make sure nobody fucks with it anymore, or to try and get back the animal life and things like that. But there's been so much damage done already. It's kind of hard to do that. Like you're not going to get a million whales back there anymore because there's probably not a million whales anymore. But anyway, uh it's an amazing film. I love this. It's great. Um yeah. Anything else you like to say?
Fun fact for the viewers at home: the narration in the English version is done by one Mr. Donald Sutherland.
That is correct. He's great.
Yeah,
I like I like the pair because in the Man Who Planted Trees, his last film, it was Christopher Plummer who did the English voice. And it's just like
oh,
I like that they're connected through this. I wonder if they've done a film together.
um,
It's possible. They were both like
possible.
big in the 80s, but I don't know for certain. But yeah, they both have like Donald Sutherland's narration is well, at times it can be a bit like a bit monotone, but at the same time, it does do that kind of like calming voice. And like when it gets to the more like anger-inducing scenes, he does up the intensity a little bit. And it's just like I think it really works for this film.
It appears that they've done at least two films together.
Which films?
Um, Ordeal by Innocence,
That's a
and
fake title.
It's Real, and The Disappearance.
Another fake title. Great.
Well, well,
Anyway, back to the film at hand. Let's not get sidetracked
and
too far on Donald Sutherland and Christopher Plummer.
and they both starred as uh Mr. Getty in those two films that came out in 2017.
What?
All the Money in the World, and then the other one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Uh, Charles Pate. Yeah. J.
J.
Paul
Paul.
Getty the
Yes.
third. Yeah. It was almost Kevin Spacey though. Thank God it wasn't. Anyway, let's get back to this. Oh my God. Anyway, I do really love one of my favorite parts of this film is the beginning portion. Not just because it's so beautiful, but I love the way it just shows the prehistory of like life on Earth, where it's like it shows the ice and there's this like figure in the water. It's like a woman's face or whatever, or it's like she is.
Oh
I
yes.
guess it's supposed to be Mother Nature or something, being like that, where it's like she's the one who begets the life in the water. And then later, I think there's a little callback to it as like there's this woman who's like not bathing, but she's in the water. She's like she's dancing with her friends first, but then she goes off on her own and like looks into the water. I think it's supposed to be reminiscent of that, even though like she's a person and she's destroying the river by but whatever. It's yeah, this is a really good movie. I
Right.
I really hope all of you at home will go out and seek, like if you've gotten this far, you've probably either seen all these films already, or are planning on watching all the films, so you've probably already watched Frederick Back's films. But if you haven't, please go and do that. It's just like Man Who Planted Trees, Crack, and All Nothing are all three just very good films, and they're worth watching, especially if you can get your hands on a better copy of them, of like a good.
That's for sure.
Unfortunately, it's like they've only been released on DVD. I don't think there's been a Blu-ray yet, but it's like I
No,
would love for there to be a restoration. It'd be so good. I
we
know
should
there is a.
spearhead that.
I think for Man Who Planted Trees, there is a 4K version on YouTube, though. I'm not exactly sure how they did that. I don't think there was like a 4K scan ever, but it's just like interpolated or whatever, or digital upscaling. Hopefully it's good. I don't know, but yeah, great movie. Anything else
Sure.
you'd like to say?
Um, I just hope that there's better access and better quality to watch this in the future.
So true.
So true.
So true. I need to contact Radio Canada or the CBC or whoever in order to get this a restoration of all of his films done, because I think that would be one, it'd be a great thing to do because he's such a big part of like animation history, but also because his environmental messages still ring true to this day. And so it'd be nice to just have them. It,
No,
anyway,
definitely. That'd be great.
but yeah, let's move on to our fourth nominee, which is Small Talk, directed by Bob Godfrey and Kevin Baldwin. This is the fourth and final nomination for Godfrey, as well as the first and only nomination for Kevin Baldwin. After such a long and impassioned speech I had about Frederick Beck, do you think that Bob Godfrey, an equally prolific animator, will get the same treatment for his final nomination? If you think so, you have not listened to this podcast before, because I have never have anything to say about Bob Godfrey. His life is just making popular movies and influencing other people. That's it. There's nothing really to say about him or about his films. It's just like they're just films that he made that were popular. And eventually he died. That's it. And Kevin Baldwin is here too, but I can't find anything about him. I'm sorry to both of you, but there just isn't a conversation here. And speaking of conversation, Small Talk is a series of vignettes where an unassuming man turns out to have great power and influence, being an MI6 agent, friends with the Queen, and great at fighting. So, this short tries to be funny, but it isn't, is the thing. And that's it. Like, it's just a series of slight jokes that aren't really funny, don't really have a context to them. It's just, oh hey, here's this guy. People are picked like you think this guy is nothing, but actually he's somebody. It's just like the first time there's a guy who calls him ugly and stamps on his hat, and then he beats him up. And then a police officer comes up to him, but then he calls the cops and the police officer, and it's like the police officer's doing a bad job because he's actually an MI6 agent. And then he goes to a parade and the Queen talks to him and gives him a ride. And then he goes to a bar and talks to a guy. That's the movie. That's the whole thing. It's just so nothing. And there's not much to say about it. What do you think, Aaron?
I agree. There's not much to say, and you kind of said what I was gonna say, like all your thoughts.
I'm sorry to take it all from you.
I know. You should be. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say I hated it, but I didn't like it. Um, it's strange. Well, yeah, I mean, I mean, I was gonna explain what happens, even though you already did. But yeah, it's just so like, actually, also, just quick side note, I believe he was MI5, not MI6, but I could
I
be.
don't know the difference.
They're two different divisions in British intelligence, British government. Kind of like FBI and CIA. There's MI5, MI6, Scotland Yard, all that. Anyways, no, yeah, it's strange because okay, so like I was watching it and I was like, all right, here we go. And then he basically calls an officer incompetent, and I was like, all right, okay, okay. But then the Queen shows up, and then they're like friends, and it's like, okay, royalists, whatever. Is that what they're called, right? Royalists, something like that.
Yeah, like the people who really love the Queen and think, yeah, the
Yeah, it's like,
royalists.
okay, yeah, whatever.
Fuck the Queen. Glad she's dead.
And then he talks to the guy, the old man in the bar that's slurring his speech, and it ends. And it's like, okay,
Okay, well, what was the point of all
what I
that?
just watched.
Why did this
How does
happen?
this
Why
all
did you
connect?
make this, Bob
How does it
Godfrey?
connect? What does it
Fuck
mean?
you.
It just doesn't come together. I was a little lost. And again, like I didn't like honestly, I didn't hate it, but it's just strange and it's not that great, and I just didn't end up liking it in the end. It's very odd. Yeah.
It is just a very unusual. Well, it's not even that unusual. I feel like this is the kind of thing that I've seen similar shorts before, but it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, it's not unusual, but it's just like nothing connects and nothing like there's no like I didn't get anything out of it. Like what
Yeah,
does it mean?
it comes and it goes and it leaves nothing behind.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Moving on. No, I'm just kidding.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Wait, what?
It's the song, it's not unusual. I just quoted it.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Tom Jones?
Yes. Rest in peace. Wait, no, it was a different Tom Jones that died. Never mind.
Uh-oh. Now I know I understand what you're saying now. At first I was like, wait a minute. I was like, are we getting real here? But no, you were just quoting a song.
Yeah. Well, can't songs be real?
They can. But I thought you're like, oh snap, this is we're gonna pause for a
We
moment.
we're
We're
going
gonna
to
take a
have a
little-
deep
we're gonna have a yeah, we're
conversation
gonna deep
while
conversation. We're
talking
gonna
about
vent.
Small Talk by Bob Godfrey.
Precisely. Maybe this is what we get out of it.
Hmm. But we're not, because we're going to move on now.
Okay.
Our fifth and final nominee is The Village, directed by Mark Baker. This is Baker's second nomination after The Hill Farm, and yes, he is still the man who made Peppa Pig. If The Village and The Hill Farm seem like they're sort of companion pieces based on those titles, well, they are. The Village, in Mark Baker's words, is a reaction to The Hill Farm. He wanted to show more of what life was like inside a town, not having the events be from external forces. as well as making the whole thing a bit darker. Or the village is about a small village where everyone has a secret and everyone loves to spy on everyone else. One man has a box of gold, a woman is cheating on her husband with the gardener, the priest is an alcoholic, and one day there's a murder. Aaron, what did you think of our final nominee?
It was pretty intriguing. I liked it. Um yeah. It wasn't, yeah, I guess it wasn't what I was expecting. Like it kind of like, so I was like, all right, the village. I mean, I didn't know what it was gonna be about, period. But
Period.
I yeah. I pressed play and I was like, okay, the village, all right. There's people that live in a village. Yeah. Little little small commune. No, not a commune. Anyways. Um then it turns out, oh, there are people with secrets. And there's secrecy afoot. Well, there's people,
There's
there's someone,
secrecy afoot.
exactly. There's someone cheating, committing I believe it's called adultery.
Yes.
There's like, oh, it's not just a cute little innocent little small town. It's like, ooh, there's intrigue, there's drama, there's tea even. There's like, oh, everybody's got their own little thing going on secretly that you know, it goes from one character to another, and it's like, oh, here's the thing that here's their secret. And I was like, oh, this is a nice little uh play on the, well, I don't know. It's just I didn't expect it to take that route. And it ended up being like, whoa, because somebody dies, and then it gets pretty intense. Somebody gets jailed, and then and then people have to escape, and it's like, damn, this is pretty I don't know if it's heavy, but it's just like, whoa, this kind of goes from 0 to 100, and
Mhm.
it's pretty I liked it though. I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree. I did like this. And it's just like, but the thing about that is that the first time I watched this, I apparently hated it. I gave it 2 stars on Letterboxd, which is very low for me. And it's just like, for some reason, I don't remember why I didn't like it. I think I have an inkling. I think it was because this is a very slow paced short film. It's like, it's not very, like the Hill Farm before. If you did listen to that episode, uh, it's a very slow pace. But at this time, one, the pacing works. Two, more things happen, and three, it's just like, it's just better made. It's got a better story here. Or it's like, I really enjoy each of the individual characters, with each of their little secrets. I love the way, like so it starts out with these little bugs going into a hole, and they're like, that doesn't matter. But then it goes to the center of the village, and it's like every single person is staring out their window, watching the center of the square. They're just like waiting for someone to go out there and see what they're doing. And then eventually a person goes out there just to pick some oranges or whatever. And then the priest goes out there, goes to the church, but then he drinks a little bottle inside where no one can see him. And it's just like, I love how nosy everyone is, and then you get this little plot forming. I especially like the one woman who we see, like who's watching, like the woman who's cheating on her husband. Like she's at the front window, sees her going out the back, and then she runs to the other side of her house to go watch what she's doing in the back. It's just like, it's all very cute. It's just like, and like, first of all, like Mark Baker wanted, and like you were saying, it's like it does get a bit darker. It's like a bit more, it's a lot more adult than the Hill Farm was, because you have like a sex scene in here. You have like
Yeah.
murder. It's interesting.
And you see
Which,
a man's junk for a second too.
exactly, you see a penis. It's great. And but yeah, it's just like this whole, there it it works. This movie is good. I was very shocked to that I was going to say that. This is like, it's a good movie. And yeah, good job, Mark Baker. You did a good job.
Creator
I
of Peppa.
I wish Peppa Pig was like this.
I didn't even know he was the creator of Peppa Pig until yesterday.
Just yesterday, not today.
Maybe today, but I believe it was yesterday.
When I told you that he made Peppa Pig.
Well, you said that right now,
Yeah.
but I don't recall. Did you say that yesterday?
Maybe. I
I think I
probably
read.
not. I think you read it elsewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I anyway, Mark Baker, good job. Um, yeah, I each of these characters are so distinct. It's like I really enjoy that. Also, it's just like their unique secret also defines their personality in interesting ways. Actually, I think the one guy who doesn't have the secret, who doesn't really have a secret, is the guy who ends up murdering the guy with the gold. Because like we just the only thing we
Yeah,
see
he just
about
wants
him,
the gold.
yeah, the only thing we see of him before he goes and murders the guy is that he doesn't like his wife's food, and he's the guy with the wife who's cheating on him. It's like it's her secret of the household, but it's like I wonder what that guy is just thinking. It's just like, damn, everybody else has a secret except for me. It's
I
sad.
don't want to have a secret. Let me murder someone.
Yeah, exactly. But then he just frames it on somebody else, so he still doesn't
Right.
have it.
Actually, you know, and that is a secret because
Oh
nobody knows.
yeah,
Nobody ends up knowing.
yeah. And also, I guess the gardener guy. Well, actually, never mind. I was about to say he doesn't have a secret, but no, his secret is that he's fucking the guy's wife. Which, yeah, it's fun. We love adultery in this house. We love homewreckers. Anything else you'd like to say about this? Who was your favorite
About
villager?
my favorite villager, gotta be gotta be the dog in Animal Crossing that's dressed up like a mummy. Um, I think that's my favorite villager.
I I regret inviting you on. I'm kidding. That's
Now
a joke.
hold on.
I love you.
My favorite villager, I mean the gardener guy's pretty nice. He seems like a nice guy. I don't know if he's my favorite. I don't know if I have a favorite. Everybody's got secrets. Not most of those people there in that village aren't the greatest. So I don't know if I have a favorite. But
Well,
the
they
gardener
don't
guy,
have to be a good person for you to like them.
that's true. But the gardener guy seems a little nice.
Yeah.
He's just a guy with some glasses gardening.
I do also like the guy with the gold because it seems like his whole day is just spent opening his chest at
And then
times and just
and
playing with
then
the gold, just like
yep,
tossing it like, hee, 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 I have gold.
just like
It's,
that too.
it's just very funny. Like he's very like a Scrooge McDuck type of thing, except he doesn't have as much money as Scrooge McDuck.
That's yeah, nobody does.
No, he does. He is the richest duck in the earth.
In Duckburg.
Yeah. I think he like in his canon, it's like he's not just the richest duck in Duckburg, but in the
Whole
world.
world?
Yeah, the whole world.
The entire Disney afternoon universe?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that actually. Even more
It,
than Glam Gold?
yeah.
Hmm.
I think that's a sticking point between them. It's like that he
That's
has more money.
yeah. I think I knew this. I think I knew that about Glam Gold already.
No, there might be some episodes where or some parts of the comic or whatever that Glomgold gets more, but it's like in terms of the status quo. Glomtails. Woo.
Glom Tales.
Yeah. Did you watch the episode?
Which one? The new series or the old series?
New series.
Glom Tales?
Like it's an episode of
I did
DuckTales
not. I
where it's
did.
like he
I
has his
did
own theme
not see
song or
that
whatever.
one. No, I'm sorry. I missed out on that one.
Yeah.
I missed
It's
that
fun. I'll send you the clip of him singing the theme song. But
clip. Clip.
uh yeah, it's anyway, going back to the village.
Oh
Something
yeah, Shyamalan. That's I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's good.
uh shut up. Oh my God, I just realized what you said. It's like we're talking about a short film here. And in the short film, I'm gonna spoil the ending for those of you at home. So if you don't want to hear me
Everybody,
talk about
close
it,
your ears.
close your ears for like 2 minutes and then you can open
Two
them.
minutes.
I'm just being
Long
safe.
hour.
Uh, but in the short, the ending, it had so like the guy who so the guy murders the other guy. He frames it on the gardener who I don't think he knows that he's with his wife who's cheating on him, but he frames it on the gardener anyway. And then the town immediately is like immediately he's thrown in jail, and they're setting up the gallows by cutting down the trees he planted, which is so fucked up. But he's able to escape thanks to his wife, to his uh, the person he's fucking. Uh, gives him a shovel. He escapes the jail. He's able to hide, and then at the end, he murders the guy, the husband, and he like pushes him off the roof of the village, and he takes the glasses down with him, and so that when he's dead, it's like they think it's actually the guy who,
That was framed for murder.
yeah, they think it was actually the guy who's framed for murder. And it's just like what I thought was going to happen after that was that the guy who was framed, since he's still alive and the other guy got killed, was that he was just going to pretend to be the husband, and they just live in the village. They just still live in the village, but it's just like, but no, he and the
That would have been interesting.
he and the wife just escaped the village forever because they don't like that all that drama.
Right. Good for them.
Good for them. But yeah, and then the rest of the village are still on their like shitty ways, just staring out their window. There's one window missing.
Question.
What's the question?
Was the floor of the jail cell made of dirt? Did they
I
not
think
cover
so.
cement
It,
or anything?
I think
Rocks?
I think it's meant to be like dirt
Hmm.
because he really shovels through that quite easily.
Yeah, made it a little too easy for him to escape.
I don't know. It's an animated film. Allow it some fanciful details.
Gotcha.
But oh, that reminds me. Another one of my favorite parts of the film is that, so like in the beginning, like you have the woman who goes out, grabs the oranges or whatever. Then the priest, he goes to the church, drinks a bottle of wine, then he goes over to the jail cell and spits on the prisoner in there, then goes back to his house. And it's just like, you didn't need to do that. Just goes out of his way to
That
just
was
spit on the fucking guy.
yeah, that was rude.
It's like he's already in jail. You don't need to make it worse. But then again, it's meant to establish, I guess, that these people are pieces of shit.
Yeah, they all suck.
So that even the priest is so petty.
Mm-hmm. Petty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so like, I don't see any wells near that village. I don't see any water supply. So he's wasting his precious bodily water, his bodily fluid on this fucking guy just to spit on him. So like they are going to die of dehydration any day.
Yep.
But yeah. You have anything else you'd like to say about The Village, directed by Mark Baker, released in 1993?
About the village, I think that's it. Might have to check out Peppa Pig now because maybe they have secrets too.
Mhm. Maybe Peppa Pig has a secret.
Maybe Peppa Pig's not even her name.
It's actually Porky.
Porky?
Porky Pig.
Maybe it's Gordy.
Maybe it's Gordy. Gordy and Babe and Porky. But yeah, that's it. That's all the short films that were nominated
That's
this
all of them?
year. That's every single short film ever made. It's
Wow.
just 5 of them, all released in 1993.
I sworn there was more.
Nope. You you dare swear on my podcast. But now that we've talked about the 5 nominees, let's rank them all. Aaron, start us off with your number 5.
Number 5. Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you want.
That was not nominated.
Number 5, Small Talk. I think we both have the same number 5. I
Yeah.
don't really need to say anymore.
Yeah, we both agree that this is just a worthless film, and Bob Godfrey should be put in jail so that we can spit on him.
Whoa, okay, that's a little. I don't know if I'd go that far.
It's okay. He's already dead. We can't put him in jail.
Oh,
Unless.
no, no.
What's your number 4?
Number 4. Okay, so the rest are all actually pretty good. So it doesn't mean it's like bad or I think of it less. It just happened to be number 4. Number 4 is The Mighty River.
Ooh.
And I guess maybe part of it is because it's just like it's not like a fictionalized story, or something, where like there's like a, you know it's just like it's just like a historical account
Yeah.
of real life events, and it's actually depressing. I mean,
It's
it's good,
essentially an animated documentary.
right? So I mean, it's good, but and I guess I hadn't thought of it that much, or maybe I did subconsciously. But yeah, I suppose that's why it's number 4. It's a good film, but I like a little more narrative, a little more fantastic, yeah, fantastical elements.
Maybe if you got to watch it in higher quality, you would have been more
Maybe,
enchanted
yeah,
by
maybe
it.
I'd appreciate it more if it wasn't in like 240p potato quality.
Yeah, maybe look up some of the YouTube uploads just so you can like see
And
better
Francois,
quality. Yeah, yeah, just like watch a few segments of it, and I think there are like whenever I Google the film, it's just like I get like 2-minute clips
yeah, they're like
of it.
really short.
Mhm. But yeah, you can just watch a couple of those. Those are probably uploaded in better quality. And yeah. But my number 4 is The Village, which yes, while it did like shoot up a lot from 2 stars, I just didn't like it as much as the other 3. I do enjoy it. I think it's good. I think it's funny at times. I like the characters, but it's not as good as the other 3. What's your number 3 though, Aaron?
My number 3, my number 3 was Blindscape. It might shoot up on a rewatch perhaps, but as of right now, it's number 3 because it's or not because, but it's just there's a lot of it's open up to a lot of interpretation, which I really like in films. But like I said, maybe on a rewatch it'll shoot up more. It's very good though. It's very well, no, not spooky, but there's lots of
A little spooky.
there's some weird things going on, which is a good thing, which I like.
Like
Uh,
a lot of the movie is just him being scared. Like he's just
right.
scared of everything. He wants to go home but can't find his way out.
Yeah. Maybe it hits a little too close to home with the dreams I'm having at night. I don't know. When I sleep. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like it's only at number 3. It just means that the other 2 are really, really, really good. And so my number 3 is The Mighty River, which I really loved. Like I said, like so this my top 3 are very close in terms of like my opinion on them. And it's like in my big ranking of all 3 nearly 400 best animated short nominees. All my top 3 here are all within 20 spots of each other, or which is like very damn close. But my number 3 here is The Mighty River, which is another great film by Frederick Bach, but also I think it might be my least favorite of his 4 films, of the 4 that I've seen. I mean, just because it is a bit heavy-handed. It doesn't really tell a story. It's just a documentary, but still, it's absolutely gorgeous. It does get those emotions going. It's a very poignant film, but it's just not as good as my top 2. But what's your number 2, Aaron?
My number 2 is The Village.
Ooh.
Just because I don't know. It all the secrets and the secrecy and and even more secrets, it intrigued me. I was like, not everything is as it seems.
You're a big fan of secrets. You really like to emphasize that.
I suppose I am. You could say
What's
that.
your secret?
My secret is I don't know.
My secret
My
is
secret
that
is I still haven't seen Peppa Pig.
wow,
Even though I know the theme song.
I don't know this theme song.
It
But
goes dun, 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 dun. Hi, I'm Peppa Pig. This is my brother George. And it keeps going.
okay. My secret is that I love you.
Oh,
But yeah,
really?
yes, it's true. But anyway, my number 2,
Wow, we
and
really
I needed to preface
past that. Okay.
I needed to say that before I say this because my number 2 is The Wrong Trousers.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You don't love me.
I
You
do
never,
though.
you never did.
I just I do really like this film. I think it's really great.
Hold
It's a great
on.
Wallace and Gromit film,
Pause.
but it's just not one. It's just not as good as my number one, and also, so this used to be like a really high film in my ranking. It was just kissing 4.5 stars. It wasn't quite there, but it
Was
was almost there.
kissing?
It was kissing him, but it
What?
it it dropped down in this watch, and it was mainly because of how unlikable I found Wallace to be, especially having just recently watched A Grand Day Out, and I thought he was the best part of that movie. He was so funny and charming, but here it's just like he's just such a dick. It's just like he's so mean to Gromit. It's just like he needs to be nicer to Gromit. It's just like it doesn't feel believable that he would be so uncaring. Like I feel like he would give great gifts for Gromit on his birthday. But no, this short says otherwise, and I think that's just inaccurate. It's a lie. But anyway, wrong trousers I have at number 2. I apologize to
Blaspheme.
I
You're a
apologize to everyone.
fraud and a hack.
Well, yeah, that's why I have a podcast. Only frauds and hacks have
Whoa,
podcasts.
whoa, whoa. I didn't say that.
I said it. But
But
yeah,
I
what's your number one? As if
you
I don't know.
it's you.
I'm your number one.
No, it would have been, but then you made wrong trousers number two, so you're not number one.
I'm actually number 6 now.
Yeah. Actually, you're probably number like 8, but whatever.
Oh my
Um
god.
Wrong trousers is my number one. Wallace and Gromit in the wrong trousers is my number one.
Yeah. I
Um,
never knew what's really called this episode, like, or called the film. Because like some places say it's called Wallace and Gromit in the wrong trousers, and some places call it as just the wrong trousers. And it's just like I never know what to
maybe
say.
even some of them do Wallace and Gromit colon the wrong trousers.
Well, that's just wrong. Like that's just not how it is. That make nobody happy with that.
Hmm.
Anyway, tell me about Wrong Trousers. Why do you love it? Why is it number one?
It's simply the best. I rest my case. No, I mean honestly, I don't know. There isn't really any much else to say other than that I've loved it since I was little. It is quite possibly no, it is. It is the best installment in the Wallace and Gromit franchise. It's very good. It's very fun. Has a fantastic train chase sequence all around. Great film, and it's good. And its 30th anniversary is this year, so hats off to the wrong trousers.
Clap clap. But actually you're wrong because the best film on this lineup.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm just joking. But my number one is Blindscape because like which so like my ranking here, it's just like it's completely different than what it would have been before wrote I rewatched these films. It's just like because like before it was like Wrong Trousers number 1, then Mighty River number 2, Blindscape 3, uh Small Talk 4, Village 5, and now it's just all flipped around. It's all messed up. But yeah, Blindscape is so I was so shocked at how much I loved it, having not remembered a single thing about it before. But it is just truly a gorgeous, gorgeous film. I I'm not going to forget it this time. It is just truly astounding. It really shows what animation can be, in my opinion. Like it's really something that really pushes the medium. And it's like that's always something I'll love. And also it's kind of scary. And I love all of the horror nominees that have been in this category. And this one is verging on horror, though I don't think it's quite there. But yeah, I still love it. It's great. Everyone watch Blindscape and watch The Round Trousers if you haven't.
It almost is horror, I'd say.
And watch The Mighty River as well. And even watch The Village.
And
Don't watch Small Talk.
even small talk.
Do not watch Small Talk or I will kill you. Just like I killed Bob Godfrey.
Damn.
I'm kidding. I didn't kill him.
Is that your secret?
No. I already told you my secret. My secret was that I love you.
No, you don't though. We've gone over this.
But I do. It's a secret to you because you
Oh.
don't accept it as truth. So you don't understand it. So you don't know it. But it's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we end our show, are there any final thoughts you'd like to share or anything you'd like to promote?
Glom Gold. Woo! No, yeah, follow me on Letterboxd, and TikTok at Jactus Williams.
We don't. You're not going to follow Aaron if you follow those links. That's just me.
I'm also on Google Plus,
No one's on Google Plus anymore.
Line, and LinkedIn. I'm also on PhotoBucket if you wanna catch me there. Yeah, keep my socials.
Are you on Foursquare?
That I know that name. What was that one?
I think that's like a place where you just kind of log where you are. This is
Oh,
like,
that's kind
hey,
of
I'm
weird. Why would
here.
you? Why would you do that? Why would you? That just sounds unsafe.
Probably. Maybe that's why it's not around anymore. But yeah. Well, thank you, Aaron, for coming on the show. And thank you, listener,
Worse.
for tuning in. This has been a short podcast about short films. Until next time, goodbye.